Well, hello friends. Thank you for joining me. This is Wednesday the 22nd of June, and I was just reminded after I did my last video last Friday, I was recommending and reminding you of certain things, and one of the recommendations I was making was to do a little bit of extra reading over the summer period if you had the time to do that. And I realised afterwards, and it was pointed out to me, that I was recommending that you read, but didn't recommend anything for you to read. So I've just nipped down here to the vestry, taken a few books off the shelves, and if you're stuck regarding what you could or should be reading, I'm just going to give you a few ideas. I was going to say in no particular order, but these are actually ordered from beginner to expert, if I can put it that way. These are books of increasing value and profitability. Don't know whether that's the right description or not, but I've got to start with this one here. This is called The Forgotten Spurgeon. It's a Banner of Truth book. I just see on the back here it says £1.95, so it's quite an old one. And the reason it's quite an old one is this little book was handed to me by a spiritual mentor of mine many years ago, and I was encouraged to read this book, and it started me off on the path of reading Christian literature. I was just a young man, a young Christian at the time. And now this particular edition is out of print, but you can still get it. I'm sure Banner of Truth will still be able to get you one if you want. And it's simply a biography. And if you want somewhere to begin in your Christian reading, you could do an awful lot worse than start with a Christian biography. It doesn't have to be of Spurgeon. This was the one that sparked an interest in me. But there are many good Christian biographies and autobiographies. Just reading about people who have done great things for the Lord, or have served the Lord, or have been on a bit of adventure in the Lord's service. And if you want something not only to educate you, but to inspire, to encourage you, you can do an awful lot worse than going and getting a good Christian biography and reading that through. Now, after that, I've got another classic. This is still in print, although this is an old copy. This is J.I. Packer's Knowing God. And again, especially if you're starting out in the Christian faith, this is a wonderful little paperback just to get you to know more about God. It does what it says on the cover. It is about knowing God and getting to know God, the majesty of God, God incarnate, the truth of God, God the judge, things like that, the grace of God, God the guide, all the attributes of God described and discussed. And when you read that, you will be more knowledgeable about the God that we know and love and worship. Now, hopefully, if the biography will spark an interest and it will spur you on to know more about God, this is another book that I found invaluable, and I still use an old copy of this, Search the Scriptures. It's edited now by a chap called Alan Stibbs, but this will take you through the Bible in 3 years. So again, it's a bit more heavier going, if you like, but each day there's a passage to read and there's a few questions to answer. And please, if you're using this, don't skip doing the questions and answers, because that is an invaluable part of searching the Scriptures. So a passage a day, a couple or 3 questions a day, takes you through the Bible in 3 years. And if you stick it out, if you finish the course, it means you will have, well, basically you'll have written your own commentary on the entire Scriptures. Not an in-depth commentary, but you'll be able to trace your thoughts as you've gone through the Bible in 3 years. So I still use that book, as I said, and I know it's been invaluable to an awful lot of other people as well. Finally, for the moment anyway, another old book, which is still in print. You can get a more modern version of this. But this particular book is the one that really made me think. This is the one that challenged me and really focused my attention on the Lord, on His Word, and on theology. It's entitled The Reformed Doctrine of Predestination. And again, as a relatively young man, I was struggling with the whole concept of, well, without being irreverent, I was struggling with the concept of God hanging around in heaven, wondering whether people would come to Him or not. And this book points out very clearly and explains how God knows His people and knows who they are, and He goes after His people, as it were. So if you're ever confused or wondering or being questioned as to what the doctrines of grace constitute, or what Calvinism is, well, this book will explain it all, and it will answer an awful lot of questions for you as well. And as I said, it made me change my mind, answered a lot of questions, cleared some things up for me, and yeah, sent me off in the direction of, well, a lifelong journey of reading and trying to find out more and more and more about the Lord and His Word. So you've got to start somewhere, okay? These things won't automatically happen. So can I just recommend that over the summer period, you do get an opportunity to read some Christian literature. You can start off with something straightforward. You don't have to get a great big tome and read thousands of pages. But if you want to start off and be inspired by a biography, then move on. As I said, hopefully you'll be inspired to move on. Move on to knowing more about God, about searching through His Word and understanding some of the doctrine that is taught in the Bible. So there you have it. I'll not go on too long today, but please, over the summer period, make an attempt, if you're not already, make an attempt to do some extra reading, and maybe some of those books will give you a little start. Sorry, they're a wee bit old, some of them, but there are many other alternatives. So a good visit to a good Christian bookshop. You can browse the shelves yourself and find something suitable. So, thank you for listening. I hope that's been helpful. Please don't think books are the preserve of just of pastors or of other people. We all have to start somewhere. And as I said, I was glad somebody placed a book in my hands all those years ago. Didn't know where it was going to lead to. Didn't think it was going to lead to me having a library of books and having spent a lifetime trying to plumb the depths of the riches of the Word of God and all that the Lord has for us as His people. So, happy reading. Let me know how you get on, and if you want any recommendations or if you want to borrow any of my books, please don't hesitate. Just get in touch with me and I'll try to point you in the right direction. Okay, so until that happens, please keep praying, keep safe, and if I can add to that now, please keep reading as well. Bye for now.